What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. And yes, I am back in the classroom again. You know what that means? We got another gun review. Let's get right into it. So, the Core Elite Operations Battle Series 15. You guys couldn't get a full shot of it there. But as you guys can see, no mag. Bolt is locked back. Chamber is clear. Let's get right into it. So, for starters, this is probably the first higher end AR that I've done a review on. I've shot a good few number of ARs, guys, don't get me wrong. But this one, it just, oh my goodness. There was something about the Battle Series 15 from Core Elite Operations. It clicked with me. Everything about it was perfect. The muzzle brake on it works so well that it has negative recoil, guys. When I say negative recoil, when you're shooting, you're expecting pull the trigger, boom, goes up a little bit. Nope, this one, boom, dips down just the tiniest bit because it is that aggressive of a muzzle brake. You have negative recoil. I don't know how else to say it other than that. So you guys might be wondering, what kind of ammo did you run through this? Because, you know, 223, 5.56, it ain't cheap. Well, I'll tell you this much. Prior to going out of my way to make sure I get this review done, I had already put about 100 rounds of just loose ammo that I found throughout my time working here. I put another 400 rounds of flood ammo into it. Now, you guys might be wondering, Mark, why are you going to run flood ammo into such a nice AR? And yeah, that's a fair point. That is a very, very fair point. However, though, I can also say it ate it like it was nothing. Like, I mean, out of, I think it was 420 rounds that I fired, it was somewhere around there. I know it was a bit over 400, but I know it wasn't 450. We'll use the number 420 just for jokes, right? Only 8 of those were light strikes. Let that sink in. I mean, this gun, guys, I'll say right now, the boys over at Core Elite Operations did a phenomenal job on this rifle, to say the least. Now, you guys might be wondering, Mark, this is one of the rentals. You put 500 rounds through it. How many rounds have been put through it altogether? And this number is where it becomes very, very surprising to most people. In total, this rifle has had at least 50,000 rounds fired through it. Now, I know some of you guys might be thinking, well, that seems, you know, kind of outrageous, seems kind of exaggerated, right? But no, it's actually not. For months and months on end, this has been our most popular rental. What does that mean? That means that it was constantly being rented, constantly being shot. I mean, we were blowing through 5.56 and 2.23 like it was no tomorrow, guys. I don't know how else to say it. On top of that, we got to think about all the employees who have shot it, as well as myself. It's been over 50,000 rounds with this rifle, guys. And you guys will see I have very little to no issues with this gun. I think maybe I had 1 or 2 malfunctions, and it had nothing necessarily to do with the rifle. I mean, you guys comment your thoughts on this, whether you would argue this is ammo related or more related to the firearm. But after running like 4 or 5 mags, just going as quick as I can with the Battle Series 15, one of the rounds got jammed in the chamber. I 100% just chalked it down to, well, I did just run 4 or 5 mags. The gun is getting pretty hot. Chances are the casing swelled up while it was in the chamber, and that's why it got caught. But moving on, though, as you guys just heard, little to no malfunctions. Extremely fun to shoot. Like, when I say fun to shoot, I can't think of a single person who has shot this AR-15 and has said they don't like it. I mean, they might not like, oh yeah, the muzzle brake, it's pretty aggressive, you know, it's a loud gun. Sure, guess what? You can change that. You can change that. But overall, guys, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I genuinely think this might be the best AR-15 that I've ever, well, 1, definitely the best AR-15 I've ever done a review on, but 2, this might be the best AR-15 I've ever shot. Keep in mind, guys, I've shot a good number of AR-15s from a bunch of different brands. I genuinely think Core Elite Operations might have the best on the market, at least at this moment. I mean, we got to talk about the trigger for a second. The trigger, as you guys can see, flat face, like 2 pounds maybe. The reset is phenomenal. The trigger, phenomenal. And if you guys are wondering what dot am I running on here, I believe it's a Holosun 510C. Yeah, it's a 510C. So I can tell you guys right now, without a doubt, this gun has been phenomenal to shoot. Here's some slow shooting.
It sucks, but you'll get it.
Now, normally this is where I would say to you guys, here are some mag dumps, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was having so much fun shooting this gun, I forgot to record some mag dump videos, so I do apologize about that. But in place of mag dumps, we got double taps. And of course, we have to do some drills with the gun too. So here are some Mozambiques. Bill drills. As you guys can see, how the gun shot wasn't the issue at all. It shot phenomenally. However, though, what I can say is that what would I give it for all 4 self-defense situations? That's a whole nother question, because while the gun shot great, the gun was phenomenal to shoot, as you guys saw, doesn't necessarily make it perfect for all 4 self-defense situations. So let's get started. The Core Lead Operations Battle Series 15, otherwise known as the CEO-15, which I will refer to it as such from now on. The CEO-15 would be phenomenal for home defense. I don't think there's anybody who can deny that. Why? Well, I mean, we got a very easy system to attach optics to, lights to, vertical grips, wedges, really whatever you want, you can get on there. I mean, that's never been an issue. The majority of parts that you would already want upgraded on this gun come with it. So an upgraded bolt carrier group, upgraded charging handle, phenomenal trigger, things like that come with it. So that's not really an issue you have to worry about. But what I can say, though, is if I have to choose any rifle for home defense and I have the choice of a Core Elite AR-15, yeah, I'm taking the CEO-15 all day and night, people, like without a single doubt in my mind. And keep in mind, obviously, take standard AR-15 magazine. So you got a lot of options when it comes to capacity. But if I were you, I would just stick with the standard 30-round mag. But 30 rounds of 5.56 out of something as shootable as the CEO-15, you're more than fine for home defense. I can guarantee you that much. So what would I have to give it for home defense? I would probably have to give it simply we'll say a 9 out of 10. Because while, yes, it is really good for home defense, I think the only downside to it is the barrel length. And the reason why that is because of maneuverability. You want to be able to hit corners a little bit easier. But that is just my personal gripe. You 100% could always work your way around it. Excuse me. Now, moving on, though, from a home defense situation, you're not concealed carrying this gun, guys. I don't care how much you try, how hard you try. You can have the stock all the way up. You're not concealed carrying the CEO-15, guys. So it's just not applicable. We're not going to go over concealed carry in this situation, but that's kind of a good thing if you think about it, because yes, it doesn't help the score, but no, it doesn't hurt the score either. So moving on, though, we have to go ahead and get into an SHTF situation. Now, an SHTF situation is going to be a little bit more tricky, but also not. So allow me to explain. While, yes, the Core Elite Operations AR-15 is a pretty high-quality rifle, yeah, we can agree there. It still does take standard AR parts. It is still an AR-15. So ammunition availability, magazine availability, parts availability, that's not going to be an issue for you in an SHTF situation. I mean, honestly, I actually can't think of anything that would be bad for this gun in an SHTF situation, considering the level of customizability of it and already the level of quality that it comes with right out of the box. So I'm going to be honest, I have to give this one a 9 out of 10 too, guys. I don't know, maybe you guys are thinking that I'm being too nice here, but we have to talk about a couple of different things when we're talking about an SHTF situation. We have to talk about the capabilities, right? Extremely capable rifle, without a doubt. Anybody who's arguing that this rifle is not capable to help keep you safe is out of their mind entirely. But beyond just capability, we have to talk about magazine availability, parts availability, ammunition availability. All of these we have to take into account here. So I can truly say I think a 9 out of 10 is going to be more than a fair score here for the CEO-15. Because again, it takes all the parts that you can need for an AR-15, 223, 5.56. Yeah, I mean, it's all mass produced. So I don't see why I couldn't give this one a 9 out of 10. Moving on, though, to an animal defense situation. Of course, I have to. Last but not least, you know what I mean? Would I stick with the CEO-15? It depends. It depends. Because while 5.56 is a phenomenal round, especially if you want to go for a bit further distances while still dealing with some, pretty low recoil. I can also say, though, that yes, it does a good job. It's a great round. Is it the best, though, when it comes to an animal defense situation? I think not. Now, there are animals that it 100% will stop without a single doubt. A 5.56 coming out of a 16-inch barrel, oh yeah. Yeah, there are a ton of animals that will stop. All small-sized, the majority of medium-sized animals, depending on your classification of medium-sized animals. When we get into larger animals, that's where it starts to get iffy. I mean, there are some that I have full faith that, could be taken down. However, I also don't want to put too much credit on it because obviously you're not going to sit there and take your AR-15 to go out on a safari. Of course, that's more than fair, guys. However, though, it's not like it's your worst bet in the majority of situations where you might run across an animal trying to harm you, just to say the least. So, what could I give the Core Elite Operations AR-15 or the CEO-15 or the Battle Series 15, however you want to word it? That's a good question because, again, the majority of situations that you will actually find yourself in, this rifle will do a just fine job. However, there are situations that you could find yourself in and didn't think about that it might not be the best for. So I'll be honest here, I'm going to have to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think a 7.5 is fair. My main reason for it is that, yes, the round could have a bit more power to it. But also, in the end, if the round does have too much power to it, doesn't that take away part of the reason for why we shoot 5.56 at least, because it's a low recoil round? But let's do some math here. We got to add it up, obviously, give us the final score overall, or at least the average score. We have 9, 9, and a 7.5. That's 25.5 out of 30. That is a little under 90% while still being over 80%. That's freaking phenomenal, to say the least. I don't know what else to say. But all in all, would I recommend you go out of your way to get yourself a Core Elite Operations AR-15 or a CEO-15? They are a bit more expensive. Sticker price is somewhere around $1,600, something like that. But definitely would be worth your money, to say the least. But with that being said, I do think that about wraps it up. I don't want to keep going in circles here. If you do want to check out the Core Elite Operations AR-15 or the CEO-15 or the Battle Series 15, however, again, you want to word it, make sure to check out All American Gunslingers. You can rent it out yourself, try it out yourself. But with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all and. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on the Core Elite Operations AR-15, whether or not you want one, whether or not you don't want one, whether or not you think, hey, maybe this is just a bit too expensive for my wallet right now, go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.